Here we are with another edition of SVG Sports Tech On Demand. I'm Jason Dackman, Chief Editor at SVG, and we've got a longtime friend of our organization, Brian Stanley, owner of ARCTEK Satellite Productions. Brian, how are you?
Good, good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure. So you guys have been extremely busy, obviously, especially with sports, the sports calendar being as crowded as ever. The need for satellite uplinks is never been bigger as well. So tell us a little bit about what's the latest news and what do you guys have coming down the pike?
Well, it has been an exciting time, and especially in the last 4 or 5 months. With the pandemic, everything was paused, but there was still the need. Everybody was aware of this still to have something to watch and enjoy, and that's where sports came in, and then it all stacked up over the last 4 or 5 months. So the capacity was needed, and satellite trucks were rolling coast to coast. Man, we were jamming. But the cool part is we're not with some of the changes in technology and how to deliver that and keeping a lot of the traveling crew at home. We've been doing multiple feeds out of the same venue in order to accommodate an associate producer back in New York, or or associate director over in another city. So we'll put out multiple feeds out of our truck, up to 8 feeds out of our truck, with only one going to the broadcast, going to the backhaul to the network, but everything else is just for producers that aren't traveling because of the pandemic. And that was great.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's enabling all these new workflows that everyone is adopting.
Yeah.
And I believe you guys have some cool new assets coming online this summer, right?
Yeah. We in 2006, 2007, we built the first C-band Sprinter uplink truck. It was a 2.4 meter C-band truck on a Sprinter chassis. We're redoing that truck now. We've got a new dish, all new equipment, and it'll be a great C-band uplink truck to hit that market just next month. In a little over 3 weeks, we'll have that on the road, and take delivery of it June 15th. Frontline Communications is building it for us, and then we'll have it up in Portland, Maine, for an event on the 19th. So we got a little bit of a ring out time, and then we'll hit the ground running. And that truck will have a 10 source transmission capabilities in a muxed situation, and then it'll do your typical backhauls. It'll have HEVC, MPEG 4, MPEG 2, HEVC. It'll be 16 APSK modulation, so it'll have all the latest and greatest technology in the C-band spectrum, which in and of itself is changing,
right?
And it's changing. That's okay. It's not a catastrophe. It's not the end of the C-band broadcast market. It's changing. And with technology, with changes, there's going to be better technology. And that better technology is HEVC compression. So we can do HEVC compression. We can hit the smaller allotment of C-band space available for us. And we'll get the same quality of video out. And we'll be able to get more channels out in the HEVC spectrum at an HD signal. So I'm not overly concerned about the 5G spectrum buy. It is what it is. I don't think the backhaul of a C-band uplink truck is going away anytime soon, and that's obvious in the fact that we're investing heavily in that technology.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there might be less spectrum overall, but you just got to use it more efficiently, and that's where HEVC and some and technologies come in. So speaking of, I'd love to hear, whenever we chat, I always like to hear sort of, what your thoughts are on the state of the satellite industry right now, where satellite factors into the overall transmission ecosystem, and what are some of the big advantages still to this day over some of the alternate methods?
Well, my catchphrase, and it's me being a satellite advocate, is nothing is as reliable as satellite. And I would still say that. I would still agree with that. But you have a lot of other options. And let me tell you this, for example, Jason. We just did an event last weekend. We had 2 satellite trucks there because they wanted a primary and a backup.
Sure.
there's still that mindset out there, and that's the clients that call us and that need our services. So you may book a fiber, you may book an IP, but you may want that reliability of a baseband satellite truck that you've used since you got in the industry, and that's not going away anytime soon. So where do I see it? I see us all playing together is what I see. I see there will be a comms and audio and a ton of stuff coming in on an IP circuit. There will be multiple feeds coming in on a fiber circuit, as well as going out fiber. And then I see satellite playing a role in that as well. We can do IP over satellite. We can do multiple at-home production, multiple feeds via satellite. So it's an old technology that's adjusted, constantly adjusted to stay with the times. So for us to be able to do a 10 or 14 source at-home production via satellite, it was something that we've never even thought of, in the inception or before digital. So we're adapting, and I don't see the satellite need going away anytime soon, and I don't see the bandwidth or the satellite space becoming an issue either. But the cool part about satellites, and this is why I love this industry, I love live sports, is NBC just picked up a playoff game. Right. And they picked it, and they didn't know which one they were going to grab, so they called us to put us on hold for 3 different locations, because they weren't going to know until today, and we found out today where they were going. So they don't, they're not. You don't have to plan ahead with a satellite truck. You can just make a call, and if they're available, you can get it all taken care of within minutes. Versus right. It's agility. It's the ease of operation. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, look, it's all going to be a mix of different technologies playing together, everybody in the sandbox, and there's never a one size fits all when it comes to live sports production. So there's definitely still a sizable space for satellite. And Brian, thanks so much for taking the time. Always really enjoy chatting with you. Hopefully we can do it in person rather than virtually.
Right.
Until then, stay safe, and thanks for joining us.
I'm jonesing to get to New York and see everybody.
Let's do it. I'll see you in New York in December. Fingers crossed.
All right. Thanks, see you, buddy.